Okay, yesterday I was given an opportunity to speak at NYU, New York University, to a group of grad students about leadership development and also team building. And I think it was quite interesting what I guess we kind of came up with, or the consensus as far as what we thought a leader was, what it took to be a leader, and also some of the misconceptions of a leader, myself and also four other individuals that's pretty well known and pretty good in their respective areas, you know, spoke for a bit on what we thought leadership was, the misconception of leadership, and then we also, you know, opened the floor for open panel discussion and, you know, a Q&A session. And I think what was quite interesting about the panel and the speeches in general was, you know, there was pretty much an overall consensus as far as, you know, leaders are humble, they're compassionate, there's a level of self-awareness that comes into being a leader, and they're also understanding. And what that means is being humble enough to know that, you know, you're in a leadership role or in a leadership position, but, you know, you also too can get your hands dirty. You're humble enough to do the task at hand, and also just be fully engaged in whatever the task is. Compassion, and just showing compassion, showing that you care, showing that, you know, you're not a boss as far as, you know, you're untouchable and unreachable, but that you understand and you just kind of, there's a sense of compassion in your thing. Also self-awareness. Self-awareness is one of those things to where you have to know yourself in order to lead, because as any good leader would do or should do is you should hire people with your weaknesses. In order to know your weaknesses, you have to know yourself. I don't think it's as far as, you know, business wise or just in leadership in general, if you're hiring people on the basis of Mean Girl, Lindsay Lohan, on Wednesday we wear pink, whatever, you're only gonna go so far. You might not even make it so far because you're trying to hire a lot of the same and alike people. The only way you get growth is getting out your comfort zone, one, and also two is you just put a lot of different things out trying to accomplish the same mission or task. And when I say a lot of different things, I mean a lot of background, a lot of demographics, a lot of different people, you know, accomplishing the same goal. And as a leader too, especially, you know, I said it was NYU students, so they're heading in the workforce. So they're trying to be a leader as far as, you know, boss or being able to, you know, lead a staff or whatever. And I was telling them, you know, you should want to, like I said, incorporate a lot of different people on your staff, but the mission of the company should always trump your personal perception and ideas. So whenever you're interviewing, what I was telling them was, you know, you want to interview and basically base the interview off of the mission of the company. What does the company want to accomplish? And then the people that you're interviewing, you know, do they uphold the same views as the company? It's not like, oh, I can't be homegirls or homeboys with you after, or I can't, you know, share a drink after work with you, so, you know, we're probably not going to hire you. That's not the best hiring practice for a leader. Another thing that leaders are good at, and what I said was, you know, leaders aren't perfect, they're professionals. So like I said, and one of the biggest things for a leader to learn and also to do is allocate. My first leadership role, I thought everything had to be done with me, and I had to finish this, I had to send this email, I had to do this, and I had to do everything, and I wasn't too well at allocating. And for that, I would work long hours, be stressed out about this or whatever. And once you start to allocate too, especially with people on your team and to team members, then it develops and it creates a level of trust from you and also with them, that you trust them enough to get the job done, but also you trust that it's going to get done, and they feel trusted. So then, you know, it's a challenge to them. Leaders also accept the challenge. Leaders are somebody that, you know, you accept the challenge, whatever it is for that day or whatever, and you're going to spearhead that challenge in the best way possible with the best rationale. Leaders don't fold under pressure. Leaders don't panic. Leaders always, you know, take the situation for what it is, realize everything, they go back, they rationalize everything, then they come up with a strategic approach of how we're going to approach this problem or this, this issue that needs solving, and then they go from there. Anytime you see panic in a leader's face or somebody that's leading your staff, your organization or whatever, it's demoralizing for the staff, because then if the leader don't know where we're going, no one kind of knows where we're going. A leader also leads by example. One of the things I tell my staff and any staff is, hey, you work with me, not for me. We work together trying to accomplish a task, and no matter how much they try to break up this team versus this team or sales goals or whatever, at the end of the day, we're all trying to accomplish the same task for this organization or whatever, wherever we're leading. So we're all on the same team, no matter the division within that. And then, like I said, so it's one of those things to where there's a lot of misconceptions about leaders, but there was also a lot of insight about leaders and leadership and what we all thought that it took and required to become a leader, man. But if you are somebody in a leadership position or thinking about coming to a leadership position, always remember and think about, leaders accept challenges. They never run, they never panic, they never get frantic or too frustrated, because ultimately their job is to lead the staff, to lead the organization, to lead your peers, to lead your spouse, whatever that is. Also be humbling, be compassionate, have a level of self-awareness, to know yourself, to know your strengths, and also know your weaknesses. That way you can hire people and put people in positions to help you where you fall short. If you're trying to hire a lot of the same people or like-minded people or the mean girl Lindsay Lohan, it won't work. It'll only go so far, and then your potential will be capped because there's no innovation or diversity within the organization or that small circle which you created, because everybody thinks the same and does the same. And listeners, the last thing is they're great communicators, but not only communicating but also listening. Leaders are great listeners because they need to understand what's going on, and they need to understand where they're going from there. Anybody in any relationship, period, in order to have a great relationship, you have to have great communication. It's not one-sided, it's both-sided. This is what I see, this is what you see, come to a consensus what it is, and then go from there. But I think overall it was a nice experience to be a part of, the panel and the discussion, and, to give my speech on what I thought leadership was. So I figured I'd share it with you guys today. As always, this is Kail's Corner. This is all I have for y'all today. Until next time, man, y'all have a good one. Positive vibes only. I'll see y'all. I'll catch y'all next time.